Ruslan.
I'm back on YouTube. If you didn't know, YouTube unfortunately gave me a community strike, suspended me for 7 days. I talk about that on my Instagram. You should be following me on Instagram if you aren't. But I'm excited to be back here with you guys. I'm currently out in Big Bear Mountain. I won't be back until Thursday, but I got a bunch of videos pre-planned, queued up. So in the meantime, hey, I'm gonna be on my Marcus Rogers, walking on my phone and talking to you guys. And so I just briefly wanted to talk about a few things that, a few things that I learned from being on this suspension, which I think ultimately was good for me. First and foremost, I think there was some anticipation for me to make a video kind of like exposing all the prophets, the false prophets, the Trump prophets. And I didn't get to do that. And unfortunately, I didn't get to do that. But I think maybe fortunately, I didn't get to do that. But there's other creators like my buddy John McCrae from What Do You Meme and Alan Parr did amazing videos talking about all of the false prophets and what does it all mean. And so I think for me, not being on this week was good because I didn't get to dunk and rub it into anybody's face. And I think it ultimately humbled me, softened me to approach these topics with a bit more grace and a bit more empathy. I talk about empathy all the time. I think emotional IQ is super important. And so as I was paused, I was like, man, you know what? This is actually good. I don't know if I'm going to be going over the prophets that made the Trump prophecies that got it wrong and whatever. I am probably going to reach out again to Marcus Rogers about having him on the channel and kind of getting his perspective on how he got it wrong, how others have gotten wrong. And shout out to the ones who did repent and apologize, like Chris Vallotton from Bethel Church. So I think the first thing is I'm happy and I learned that I don't always need to dunk, that I don't need to rub it in anybody's face. I don't need to be right. I need to be reconciled. I need to be a reconciler. Just like the scriptures talk about, we are called to be ministers of reconciliation, reconciling people back onto Jesus. So that's the first thing. The second thing is also just, I don't think it was a coincidence that I was in the middle of a rant about not expecting to be deplatformed while I got deplatformed, even though I still believe it was a mistake. And unfortunately, YouTube has not gotten back to me with an answer on if they're going to lift the strike or not. But I do think that the irony in all of that is hilarious. And again, I talked about that on my Instagram. You should be following me there. And so the second thing I learned is, hey, I need to be humble and I need to be gracious and I need to hear people about their concerns about being deplatformed and how it is many times unjust. So that's the second thing, is just being reaffirmed to keep pressing into humility. I always say humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking about yourself less. And I think I could definitely think of myself less, and I've gotten the opportunity to just be quiet and sit. I'd say the third thing that I learned is to give people an opportunity and pulling people in to partner with us on Patreon and to build my own direct relationship outside of needing to be on YouTube, needing to touch the algorithm. And what if I do get deplatformed? What if the algorithm changes, right? These things could drastically affect me. So I don't want to be building my house on the sand. Technologically speaking, I know ultimately, right, Jesus is the rock, but I want to be building on a healthy foundation where ultimately you get to connect with me and get to partner with what we're doing, which is why you should go and become a partner on Patreon. Oh, that's in the link below. So those are the three things I learned is, hey, I don't always need to dunk and be right. I need to be moving towards reconciliation. The second thing is consistently growing in humility, which, man, there's always more room to grow in humility. And the third is to build my community in a way that it's not dependent on any single platform. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all rocking. I will be back in true fashion sooner than you know it, Thursday. I get back from Big Bear. In the meantime, I'm enjoying this time with my family. I'll be posting some highlights. All right, peace.
Ruslan.